players spawning in the northern location of the map is going to be none other than the blue Zerg,
TomikuS.
and his opponents with an equally epic Echo. Spawning to the south, he's made quite a bit of a splash on the scene recently. It's the red Terran player,
Kelazhur.
All right, Tempo.
This guy, man. What's up? Talk to me, Rifkin.
I really like Kelazhur. There's lots of reasons to like him, but my favorite comes from the fact that the very first time I ever saw Kelazhur play, he played the worst game I've ever seen in my life. And
Yeah.
a lot of people know what I'm referencing here. For those who don't, it was a TLDR. He got Nexus proxied by Huck and lost to it. And I was like, okay, this is just another player right off the books. Next time we saw him in the following season of Copa America, they really impressed me. And since then, whether it's qualifiers or other events, Kelazhur's actually been one of those players kicking asses and taking names. So I'm really glad to see that my first conceptions of him were completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, maybe that did happen, and then he was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this. I really, really got to step my game up. And like from that day on, he became this player that practiced every day and started just saying, hey, I'm going to make a name for myself and just go for it. And he definitely did it. I know he started out getting a lot of recognition in the Copa America. He also played in the Breaking Out season. I can't remember what season it was or if he had done it before. But I first saw him during that tournament. And like seeing him, Fear Dragon goes through the whole bio and does a bunch of fun stuff, and you really get to know the players. And that's where I really started to like him, because you got to see his personality. He's a kind of really chill dude representing Brazil. And, you know, he's just been playing really solid and very impressive. I'm glad that he's able to get that recognition.
Funny that you mentioned Fear Dragon. He actually responded to that tweet that we had sent out earlier, the hello twice. His response is actually, what a weirdo. Who says hello twice?
That's funny that it actually happened that way, because speaking of like Kelazhur and how I had talked about him, Fear Dragon was kind of the main reason why I really started following him.
Yeah, Fear Dragon actually, I don't know why, I don't think I've got the voice for it, but he always asked me to do the voiceovers for the Breaking Out introduction, so of course I had to do Kelazhur's name over there too, and I was like, hey, I know that guy from Copa America, alright. TomikuS, though, he's shown up in a lot of Go for StarCraft, you see him in a lot of the weekly cups. I really can't speak too highly of him because we haven't really seen great results out of him. But as mentioned before, we got into the casting tonight, maybe because we're just watching the VODs or something. I think in this group, TomikuS, Kelazhur, and I think it was Jon Snow is the third one. They all kind of just they represent the same, I'd say, general skill level for me, with Roof being perhaps a little bit ahead of the rest. So for me tonight, watching upsets would be really cool, but I really think it's going to be like that battle for second place. And I'm actually thinking TomikuS maybe not versus Kelazhur, but TomikuS maybe versus Jon Snow could squeeze it out.
Yeah. Well, I guess what's going on in this game, at least, we did want to give you a little bit of background of the players so you can at least have that to go off of, because you can observe, of course, and see what's going on, but Kelazhur looking to do some Hellion Banshee, drop down that Armory to go for the Hellbat, while TomikuS had opened up, which looks like to be a Gasless, into double gas, as he's just now getting his speed. So this is actually a build that is very vulnerable against Hellbat pushes if you don't get down the Spine Crawler, which he is doing, and making a lot of queens. So it looks like TomikuS knows what's up, and hopefully he won't take too much damage from this, because I've seen players die straight up. We even saw Scarlet fall to a very similar type of build from Kelazhur himself. So we'll see how this does go for him if he has that defense capabilities.
Bringing up the name Scarlet right now, she felt a Dota. She didn't fall to anything in StarCraft 2, my friend.
Oh no. Sad.
Well,
I felt so sad, man.
He has actually made an extremely large amount of queens here in the front line, so fifth one, I think, joining here shortly. Normally the Banshee is a little bit more worrisome, but with what is almost 6 queens between his bases, he should be okay to defend this. The Spine Crawl at the top of the ramp is going to add so much. Oh, but it's not involved. The Helmets decided to go for the queens in the middle lines instead. No detection available. This really sucks. It's not just only the Hellbats now, it's about trying to stop that Banshee.
Yeah, the Banshee, I mean, the Spore Crawler is going to finish, but how much damage will be done before that actually happens? TomikuS looks like he's doing an okay job. He's lost quite a few drones at his natural, well, at his third, rather. But this Banshee, Rifkin, is going in, and there's no mobile detection, and there won't be any for a while, because there's no lair on the way either.
It's a little unfortunate, but I guess for TomikuS' sake is trying to go for this interesting counterattack with the Lings. I don't know what he's expecting, though. Behind this, there's 2 more factories. There's a mech build. There's going to be more Hellbats. It's so limited what he can do with these Lings. He catches a couple Hellions, actually. This is a great start in the middle of a map like this. But
yeah, I think we're going to see a big all-in coming out of TomikuS. Well, as you see, 12 Banelings getting morphed in, no lair, with 1-1. So I've never seen quite something like that before, yeah.
These 2 Banshees, they look like they're being kind of useless because they're not attacking anything. They really need to come back home. Those 2 Banshees snipe off those Banelings so incredibly quick. No amount of damage he does on this side of the field is really going to matter if he dies to this Baneling all in. Now, the Banelings are walking up the ramp, and they are waddling. They're not moving fast tempo.
Nope, double supply depot does go down, but how good is Kelazhur's micro? There are a lot of Lings here.
He takes out the Banelings. He's got more than enough Hellions, and if he wants, he can transform them. I'm surprised he's not at the limit link to the draw after already being surrounded. Now another Banshee's coming out. He's got a lot of Hellions in production right now. He should be able to hold this. The question is how many SUVs does he lose in the process? There is a 3rd command center. He's floating a lot of minerals. Where's your orbital, my friend?
He needs to make it into that, as his SCVs are going to be fighting against these Lings. God, and Kelazhur may have got caught a bit off guard as the full wall is down at the front.
Jesus, yeah, replace that wall. He's got 700 minerals. Had past 700 minerals. Invested more Hellions to try and defend this, but Hellions are not what he needs to produce. Making a Hellbat straight up could be the best option possible. Now the Banshees will clean this up, and it was never a question of would he die to this. It's a question of how bad is the recovery process going to be. And right now on the other side of the map, it's a little bit worse for wear for TomikuS. He's still sitting on 37 drones as he approaches this layer. So no matter how much damage he does do here, I guess he's still going to be struggling from the back end. But 4 Banshees is a lot of freaking Banshees tempo.
It really is. And like you said too, with that triple orbital command, he will be able to remake it, but he's down to 10 SCVs. The Lings are still ravaging the main. Triple Banshee, yeah, they're going to kill him pretty fast, but
he built a 4th CC behind this.
Oh my god, I guess
this sounds so stupid and greedy, but it's actually necessary to make up those losses.
Yeah.
4 mules dropping at a time with 4 SCVs being produced at a time? Oh, he actually cancels it.
He canceled it.
Oh, because he couldn't build any SCVs. It actually, there's another problem too. He dropped mules in the middle of combat, so unfortunately the mules ended up landing a lot on the Lings, and they just got picked off immediately. So it seems silly. I think the 4CC would have been a great choice had he been able to afford it, but evidently not. Now we got that run up the ramp once again. Hellbat's holding position to do what they can, and Hellbats are pretty darn good against Lings.
Yep, that could have been a little bit bad if they weren't there, but even a little bit of damage getting done, he's just holding it because he doesn't want anything else to come. But behind this, TomikuS is going to be going for that Spire.
Don't go for the drones, don't go for the drones. Just kill the hatchery. You got 4 Banshees. You're going to level that hatchery. Queen dies in like 2 seconds flat. Hatchery's going to go down. New Spore Crawlers are coming out. But you're right, with the Spire on the way, TomikuS has certainly got the money banked up to make 10 Mutalisks right off the bat. It's a matter of time, though.
Yeah, Kelazhur needs to know that it's coming. He doesn't even have an engineering bay, I don't believe. He does have the capabilities of making a Thor, like, structurally, but economically, he's so focused on just getting it back in shape that I don't think he's going to be able to deal with these mutas. He just needs to see them, and then he'll probably think to himself, like, ah, man, like,
Spire?
Of course. I don't know.
No, he's not seeing it. He's just now
going to see it now.
And that's in position. Even if he goes for the focus fire, and it's not going to be worth it because the Mutalisks are already on the way. These Banshees are all doomed to fail. So kill the hatchery and get out alive, maybe, or just get out right now because losing these Banshees for a couple of queen kills is not going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think it's more so about the time. He's thinking, okay, if these go to my base now, I'm dead. So these Banshees will buy him the time, but it is an expensive trade in order to do it, and not really that much time was bought.
Look at this. It's almost the borderline over here on the left side of the map.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I don't even know why, because there are 2 gold bases on this map, but like you said, right? Like,
so here's what's really silly. 2 Thors actually might not be that good against this. Thor's individual damage against the Mutalisks, it's great, but it's really, really slow. So if you magic boxes the mutas, if they're spread out, not clumped, I've actually seen players like Bly take out upwards of like 3 or 4 Thors with just 8 Mutalisks, but not looking to focus on that, but going for the SCV kills right now, really just going for the throat. Every mule counts, every SCV is a big deal.
And with the magic box, these should be going down, but they're not even going to magic box the Thor. SCVs are going to actually try to repair this Thor, and the Hellions trying to come from behind, but those Lings do give a little bit of support there, and yeah, this is just So much damage getting done by TomikuS.
6 more mutas on the way. Kelazhur is no longer really in a spot of recovery, and he's also not in a position to really go all in either. The Thor was actually stuck behind the factory, so as he lifts them, he can't produce anything. Banshee miscontrolled back in the natural base of TomikuS, so it's dead now too. It's really going to take a lot of miscontrol out of TomikuS to lose this game at this point.
I would say I agree 100%. He is a little bit lower on the drone side, but if you think about it comparatively, it's not that bad. He has his 3 bases, but for some reason the other hatch is on the other side of the map. I almost think a drone got rallied by accident with the Lings, and he just said, you know what, this is a good spot to put a hatchery, and just decided to do it, but it doesn't even matter, Rifkin. GG will be called. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of the first series of Group B of the ASL Prime League Season 4. The map is Infernal Pools, and this is a 1-0 series so far in the favor of this player. In the bottom left corner, Rifkin.
In the bottom left, Tempo, I'd love to introduce to you the Orange Zerg player, best known as
TomikuS.
And in the top right, his opponent, proudly sporting that purple, it is
Kelazhur. Man. I mean, we're, predicting, of course, that Kelazhur, kind of funny, the guy that is super duper aggressive all the time, gets a little bit of a taste of his own medicine from a relatively unknown Zerg player hailing from the Czech Republic. And he's looking to make a name for himself, He's not going to just say, all right, I'm in a group with Kelazhur and Roof. That means I'm going to go down. And I'm digging it so far.
The thing is, though, before we get too excited about it, at the end of the day, regardless of what race it is, an all-in is an all-in. And it's a rough hold. At the bottom line, no matter how good, whether it's Kelazhur on the other end of that, whether it's someone like MMA in the BlizzCon finals. If you don't realize that the all-in's coming until it's too late, you're going to have a bad time. And it's really unfortunate because Kelazhur did have the tools necessary to stop that. He had the Banshees. If they had been home instead of AFK at that natural mineral line, he could have actually stopped that fairly easy. Half those banelings would have been picked off before they even finished hatching. Yeah.
That's one of the, like you say it, it's very important to note that if you're not ready for it, you're going to get caught off guard. And the fact that he did have the triple command center, which does allow you to recover, you have to actually stabilize. If you never stabilize, it doesn't matter if you have 3 CCs. So unfortunately, Kelazhur wasn't able to do it, but he does know a little bit of TomikuS now, saying that, okay, you like to play like that, then might play a little bit more cautiously, be a bit more observant. As he does open up.
A little cute move out of TomikuS, I don't know if you got that, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. He actually hid his drone off to the side of the CC building SCV, so he waited till it wasn't going to be seen, came in and attacked, and of course that made Kelazhur, if he didn't have that second Reaper, that SCV would have died building the CC, and it's again, it's a small little thing, but TomikuS showing this really cool move so far.
Yeah, I'm digging it, as Kelazhur getting that really early 3rd command center once again, did open up with the Reaper, but he's going into triple Reaper here, so he's going to try to get a bit of damage done, and there are 2 queens out, 3 queens already at the natural. Saw that TomikuS did like to open up with the gas list, so he will always have that queen count ready to go. And already anticipating the Reapers coming up the north side.
Alright, Temp, I need you to call before you even get into the base, or too far into this game. Island base or no island base this game?
This game, I say no island base.
Okay. I'd be inclined to believe you.
I think, it's one of those things that come into play randomly, depending on spawn positions too, maybe. I don't even know. I think cross positions is the most likely scenario for it to happen. But I don't know, man. TVZ, it seems a little funny if you're not going for, I don't even know, actually. I was thinking some kind of mech where you have a lot of minerals to spare, so you can kind of line it up with turrets. But
well, Kelazhur did go for mech last game.
Oh, true, you're right, yeah.
He didn't get much into it, though, is a bit of a problem. So, see, this is a map where, regardless of whether you're going mech or not, the 4th base is going to be a struggle to take. Hell, your 3rd base is even questionable to take as the Terran players. So, I'd be really curious to see if he's inclined to even try and play mech again, because it is so gas-dependent, and setting on 2 bases is not going to cut it. But you bring up the whole cross-spawn thing, that's a whole other problem as well for Bio. You don't want to play Bio streaming cross-spawns like this, so It's kind of a tough choice, for Kelazhur to make, but I do think I would like to see him try to get away with mech. But
Yeah.
Either way, no matter what he plays, is going to be a bit difficult. This attack of the natural also not getting a lot done. Queens are doing a great job of holding their own and focus firing on the Hellions rather than wasting shots on the Reapers.
Yeah, and he's going for a lot of Hellions once again. Maybe trying to sell it that this is going to be some kind of Hellbat. But he didn't drop the armory this time, I don't believe. And we haven't seen what he's going to do. However, the gas is getting taken already. Makes me think that it will be mech, but 2 barracks do get dropped down immediately. And he looks like he does want to go for that kind of bio style. But TomikuS, oh man, getting a little bit cheeky, dropping that Nidus Swarm at the natural.
Yeah, actually, you
one
look
way
at
to bypass. Yeah, I was gonna say bypass a long map. Nidus Swarm is a perfect way to do it.
well, not only that, but look at the south to the base of Kelazhur here. He has an Overlord price. There's no vision here. He's got that little bit of corner in the bottom of his base unseen. TomikuS will be able to put Nidus down there without getting seen. And this is really unfortunate because right now Kelazhur is putting a lot of focus on the other side of the map, trying to get past those queens, harassing the Banshee, and while all of this goes on, he's barely remembering the macro. So hopefully, okay, there we go. Depot goes down. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah,
that would have been really bad.
yeah. So what do you think of this? Kelazhur is probably not expecting this, but look, he did put a supply depot at the other corner of his base. TomikuS is well aware that this is a triple command center, and now the base of Kelazhur are very, very covered, I would say, but he doesn't really have that many units out. All of his units are on the other side of the map, spotting to see what's going to leave. But if they never leave from the front...
This is still going to catch him off guard, though. Oh my god, these SCVs transferring. Did they see it? They did not see it.
And that is the battle cry. And a lot of Terran players do fear when they are trying to get into their macro mode. Banshee is across the map again, and this is a pretty big map, Rifkin. Another Banshee wasn't even in production, I don't believe. But this bunker needs to hold, but that is a ton of roaches.
That's also a ton of freaking SCVs repairing. Now he does break down one of the supply depots, and the SCVs being a little bit baited into the fight. I kind of feel they should have just sat there repairing the bunker forever, because all he has to do is hold. His opponent already invested in the Nidus Swarm. His opponent's wasted a lot of money and gas this game trying to make this work. We do have another Nidus Swarm going down on the right side of the map. This one's going to be in the main quick pull out of Kelazhur. He'll respond to this. This should not go up. The SCVs do have enough damage when fully surrounded to kill this.
And there it goes down, and even the other one at the front is going to go down to those Banshees, and now we got a Terran that is here on 3 bases, and has how many Banshees? 2 Cloak Banshees in the sky, so even the low amount of Queens shouldn't have, well, they should have a bit more difficulty trying to deal with it.
You know, I can't remember who it was. I remember something similar like this going down on a map called Frost a while ago, where the Zerg I was playing against failed with the Nidus Swarms and just kept coming at me with the roaches afterwards.
Sometimes you just got to do it. You keep on being persistent, and eventually,
have you ever found yourself in that position?
Not recently.
Oh, okay. Actually, the really curious thing behind this, sorry, as much as I love teasing Tempo, is going bio behind this. So it's not a weird situation where you find yourself, okay, you know, turtled in his mech and the Nidus Swarm scares you half to death. No, he's actually got stim, he's got 1-1, he's got combi shields finishing up. Once these medevacs allow him to start dropping, roaches are the worst units at dealing with drops.
Yeah, they're so bad to deal with drops. They're so bad to deal with bio that has really good upgrades. TomikuS has not even invested in any Evo chambers at all. He invested for the wall, but didn't really do anything with them. And he's going to be on Mass Roach. And Rifkin, I don't know, 1-1 already on the bio of Kelazhur. Out of position, though.
Yeah, we'll kill a couple of SCVs, but we won't lose the CC, and this many Marauders shouldn't have too much problem cleaning this up. Marines just have really nice damage overall, but Marauders are that slow. Those concussive shells will eventually hunt these down. Unless he's not going to chase, then never mind. I don't know why he's not chasing.
Tank. Oh, I don't know if he's paying attention. There he goes.
Tank just brings way too much damage. The splash is enormous. GG is going to go down, and Kelazhur, man, he'll bring it back. 1-1.
Bringing it back. 1-1. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you've all been waiting for. It is game number 3 of the first match of the day. And Rifkin, in case our audiences are not familiar who these players are, can you please let them know?
Well, Tempo, it's kind of going to be a bit of team action here, because spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, I, as well as you, am going to introduce the blue Terran player,
Kelazhur.
And he is Kelazhur, not to lose to his opponent in the top right. Spawning red, spawning Zerg. It's
TomikuS. And I say his name wrong every time, or different at least.
Here's the wonderful thing about it, Tempo. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I have given up. I gave up about a year and a half ago trying to say names correctly. It's just not gonna happen. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you embrace it, the faster you can move on.
With your life.
You guys don't understand. You wonder why there's no rap battles of StarCraft going on right now? It's because you jagoffs out there are giving Tempo a hard time for pronouncing TomikuS' name wrong. So stop it.
Exactly.
So he can get over it.
After every cast, man, I just wrap myself in my blanket on my bed.
Are you watching Better Call Saul, by the way?
I'm not.
Dad.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Really?
It's quite good.
I didn't even know it was a
wrap
thing.
yourself in your blanket, but I can't now because you... Okay, well, getting back on point for the game, it is 1-1. We find ourselves in game number 3, and we had a really, really disgusting Zergy all-in game number 1 out of TomikuS. It worked out quite well for him. Kelazhur in the second round, though, just, quite frankly, defended well. And the trend of the series so far is TomikuS trying to pull weird stuff off, and it either works or it doesn't. And the problem I have with this is, a lot of the times, most strange gameplay is countered by somebody who's playing standard and not playing greedy themselves. And by Kelazhur not playing greedy in any of these games, there really should be no sign to TomikuS that says, hey, you know what, try another all-in for map 3! Like, unless you scout that third CC with the Overlord or something, there's just no reason for him to do that. Unless his plans are just, you know what, I don't want to take Kelazhur on in the macro game, I want to end it quick, I want to end it soon, or at least try to win that way.
Yeah. I would probably feel the same way, too, against Kelazhur. He's one of those type of players that will just be so aggressive, and if you're playing, I would say, greedy yourself, and you start to fall behind in defending against the aggression, then he's just going to come and hit you with something else, and you just keep on falling behind, and you keep on feeling the pressure, and then eventually you just break down and cry, man, and we'll lose the game. But this is an interesting little bunker out of Kelazhur at the third location of TomikuS.
So this is really weird, in my opinion, but look what it's going to do.
It's actually going to work. Yeah.
It's like a preemptive cannon rush.
it's the 6-minute bunker rush.
I don't think it's worth it though. That's 4 Marines in a bunker. That's so much money you've dedicated across the map. Let's say TomikuS was going for a 2-base all-in again. Kelazhur has
that's what I was thinking.
Nothing at home. It would just go
at all. And look at this, Rifkin. A Baneling that's getting dropped down here for TomikuS. And he's getting his second gas. You notice this time that he did open with the gas first, so his speed is going to be a lot quicker. And he's dropping that Baneling nest, and don't know if he has any signs of getting that lair. If we know him well, 14 lings coming out, Rifkin. This third could just be a diversion. Oh my god.
Maybe.
I'm a little nervous here, yeah. Kelazhur has no bunker at home. He has nothing, really. He's not going Banshee this time, so that's not going to save him either. And he's dropping a third command center.
He did salvage his bunker, and he is walking back home with the Marines, but, man, I think he just barely missed those lings running across the map, maybe? He's playing around the roads with the Queens, but I don't think he saw the lings, and that's a problem.
Well, at least he did catch it, though, so... At least the fact that those lings aren't on the other side making Banelings at the moment.
Yet.
I mean, it's going to happen inevitably, but TomikuS is trying to get this around, and you know what? This is going to just...
Good job. Good job cleaning up the lings. There's no lings, that means
feel like that is
Banelings.
Exactly. I don't know if that was the right choice to try to get this around, but he's just going to try to do it, and he wasted all those lings here. I mean, if you look at it, it's 1,000 to 300 loss, and that's just because Kelazhur was ringing around the rosy and bought him time that he didn't even know that he was trying to buy. And, I don't even think he has to really worry about it as much here. I'm a little bit nervous here for TomikuS because he invested a lot in those lings, and that was supposed to catch Kelazhur off guard. Little did he know that Kelazhur didn't have a bunker and that half of his Marines were on the other side of the map on their way back. So we'll see if Kelazhur is going to fall to this because, I mean, despite killing all those lings here, this still has potential to do quite a bit of damage. We're in the spawn positions where that reactor is exposed. So if Kelazhur were to bust up that ramp, he is going to get the reactor with it. And that's all supply depot, so he's not going to be able to resupply.
Banelings.
So many Banelings, and there's no Widow Mines.
Like, you don't even have to waste any of the supply depots. He just walks right through. Those should have soaked up at least 5 or 6, but fighting for his life behind this is going to get messy for Kelazhur. He's done a great job of splitting, and the Banelings are taking some pretty serious damage, but while this is going on, none of the Lings have been touched, and these Banelings... Nope. Yeah, I like that he actually didn't waste them on the SPs.
All you need is 5.
Kills a reactor, takes down those supply depots. Everything's burning on the front lines too. Kelazhur might even get supply blocked, depending on how this goes. And it's not going well.
No, it's not going well at all, and he's not even going to be able to re-wall. The supply depots are getting targeted down, but to be honest, does it really even need to?
Okay, well, it's probably still over because of the Lings that made it to the main, but it's really cool the barracks re-walls off in such a weird fashion, but he does lock down the wall. However, it's a little too late, and good game, well played is called.
Wow, TomikuS is going to be the victor of the series, which will bring him over to that winner's match.